I must have fallen asleep because the next thing I knew, Gamble was shoving a wet finger in my ear to wake me up. "Ugh!" I cried. "Calm down, it's just a bit of spit," said Gamble. I noticed a big letter P scribbled on the back of his hand. I was about to ask what it was when Mum said, "Ooh, I knew the Taylors would take us somewhere special." We were following Truckingham Palace down a long driveway between perfectly trimmed hedges. The sign read, "Lushton Manor Luxury Holiday Park and Country Club, where the right type of people are always welcome. Winner of England's loveliest holiday park award 1991 till present. Upcoming events, model search, regional final." "Looks expensive," said Dad grumpily. "Well," said Mum, "if we're going to be friends with the Taylors, we need to get used to splashing the cash." Dad and I just said nothing. We passed a snooty-looking man and woman who were trotting along the drive on equally snooty-looking horses. When they saw the caravan, they looked at us like we were dragging a dead skunk behind the car. "Stop giving us evils," snarled Gamble, pulling up his shirt and pressing his nipples against the window. The horses reared up on their back legs, flailing their front hoofs around. I just sank into my seat and covered my eyes. Eventually, we reached a huge stone archway. Through it, we could see posh caravans and motorhomes just like Truckingham Palace, dotted around the rolling fields. There were tennis courts, a golf course, and a lake with sailing boats bobbing up and down on it. A man in a dark suit with gold buttons met Rosie's dad outside the motorhome. When he saw us, though, his face dropped. "I think I'll just hop out," said Mum. I wound down my window to listen in. "Hello, madam," said the man to Mum. "Are you wishing to stay, or are you just turning around?" He sounded like he hoped it wasn't the first one. "Staying," said Mum cheerfully. The man winced like a chicken laying a really spiky egg. I'm not sure we have space." Mum peered through the arch. "That field's only got one caravan on it." "Ah, well..." "She's with me," said Rosie's dad. Raising one eyebrow, the man glanced from Truckingham Palace to our rubbish caravan and then back again. He lowered his voice to Rosie's dad. "Sir, we provide every service you could possibly need. There really was no need to bring your servants with you." Rosie's dad laughed. "She's not my servant," although, of course, I could afford to pay her if I wanted to. The man laughed as if this was hilarious. "Very good, sir. Now, obviously, you may have one of our premium pitches overlooking the lake, but we do have certain standards. I'm afraid your friends must stay somewhere a bit more private." "Private?" asked Mum. "Hidden from sight," said the man. "Well, that seems reasonable," said Rosie's dad. "Precisely, sir," said the man, before turning to Mum. "We have some very quiet spots, perfect for your sort." "Our sort?" spluttered Mum. "People on the, budget end of the market," said the man, wringing his hands together. "He means poor people," suggested Rosie's dad. "Oh," said Mum sourly. "Come round to ours once you're parked," said Mr. Taylor, as Mum climbed back into our car. "We'll cook lunch for you. Can't imagine your kitchen's very safe." Rosie leaned out of the driver's door of the motorhome. "Hurry up, Dad. I've only got 7 hours to get ready now." "Coming, Princess," said Mr. Taylor. Get ready for what? I thought again as Mum drove slowly over to our pitch. The pitch they gave us was right next to the bins. It was horrible. The stink was almost as bad outside as the caravan was inside. Plus, it was on such a steep slope that Dad had to put wooden blocks under the caravan's tyres just to stop it rolling away. I thought Mum was going to be annoyed about this, but she was way too excited that Rosie's parents have invited us over for lunch. She spent 20 minutes trying on different clothes before finally settling on the exact same outfit she'd been travelling in. The rest of the campsite was actually really posh, full of tanned families going for bike rides or playing badminton or carrying their golf clubs out towards the course. We stuck out like an angry zit, but Mum didn't seem to notice. "This is more like it," she said excitedly as we walked around to Truckingham Palace. "Remember, we need to be well behaved here, especially if we want the Taylors to ever invite us on holiday with them again." I said nothing. If there was ever a reason not to be well behaved, that was it. And anyway, Gamble doesn't understand well behaved. He ran on ahead chasing squirrels and kicking parked cars. Outside Truckingham Palace, there was a table loaded with bread rolls and salad. Yuck. Meanwhile, Rosie's dad was cooking meat on a gas barbecue. It smelled amazing. "How do you like your peacock burgers?" he said. "Peacock?" I squeaked, losing my appetite. "You mean one of those beautiful birds with the shiny blue feathers?" Dad squinted. "Isn't it a bit, wrong to eat them?" "Nonsense," said Rosie's dad. "They taste great, plus they're very expensive." "Dad hit one in the car once," grinned Gamble. "It was delicious, but the beak was, well crunchy." "I'll just have a bun," I said, feeling a bit ill. "Where's Rosie?" asked Mum. Her dad nodded towards the lake. Rosie was standing on a little beach. She was wearing a pink dressing gown with Princess written on it in gold letters, and her hair was in curlers. Vanya was filming her on an expensive-looking camera. I walked round to see what they were doing. "Hi, fans," cooed Rosie to the camera. "Welcome to Rosie.tv. As you can see, I'm getting ready for the cut! That little goat's wrinkle is ruining the shot." I realised she was talking about me. Vanya lowered the camera and turned round to me. "Hi, Roman." "I'm not in the shot," I said, pretending I hadn't even heard Vanya. Rosie tutted. "No, but I can see you, so obvs my face is going to look like I've just stepped in something revolting." "Well, sorry for being alive," I said. "You should be," said Rosie. "How am I supposed to get my fans excited if I've got to look at your horrible, lumpy head? Oh, and hi, Mrs. Garstang, so wonderlicious to see you."